give him a kiss, have some crazy sex, you have to.
The psychology behind silence treatment in a relationship. Is it even necessary at all to give your partner silent treatment?
Oh, so this thing has two ways, two faces. There are people who are naturally silent. They believe in the principle of silence is golden. There are also people who prefer not to talk when they have not put their words and their thoughts together. They've not put themselves together. They prefer not to say a word until they have it all put together before they talk. And there are also people who just want to be all silent with you, no one to talk with you, because that's a way of throwing it back in your face. So yes, relationship, it depends on who is giving the silence treatment. If we are only looking at those who intentionally will not want to speak so to torment the partner, yes, that's a school of thought. There's also people that they are quiet because they want to be in control of their words before they can speak. And there's a third school of people who are naturally just quiet, they struggle to even talk. So if you're going to bring them problem, they might as well just call back into their shell.
Don't you think silence treatment is a punishment in a relationship?
So that's the third school that I talked about. There are people who intentionally will go quiet for far long, extremely, they just don't want to talk. And that in that place, that becomes a punishment. They feel that I'm not going to talk to you, I'm going to ignore you for as long as they want, and that is more of a punishment. But if it's a person want to put their thought together before they speak, I don't think that it's a punishment. Because what if I say something that I don't mean it, and you also take me in a wrong context. But there are some people who deliberately they just don't want to talk. They just want to be at loggerheads. That's the English. They just want to ignore you and snub you, so you feel terrible. And for them, that's from that angle, that's a lot of punishment. In a heated argument, when the argument is taking a certain direction, you just want me to confess. Okay, so for me personally, when we are having a conversation and I sense there's not just misunderstanding, but it's becoming argumentative, I'll go quiet. I won't speak again. I won't speak again for days, so that this whole thing will pass away. It's not because I'm not in the third class that I want to use that as a punishment, but I felt that something should happen so that we all calm down before I can revisit the subject matter again. There are also people that when you do something to them and they don't like, they respond back with silent treatment. They just will not talk. And when you say something to them, they will not mind you. And they will not even say good morning. You see their messages, it's been read, they've read it all, but there's no response. They take it both physical and technological, So that's also if the argument is or out of, let's say, abuse. When people abuse you physically or verbally, there are some days that people would want to avoid you or not want to talk with you for quite a time. Give him a kiss, have some crazy sex. You have to, if you're married, your husband comes home and you're in some beautiful lingerie. That is if the opposite person is also doing it. It's the same way that you are doing to the person. When they are doing to you, you have to take it like that. It's hand go, hand come. It's just unfortunate that women do it much, and when the man decides to do it, it becomes, we just bump on the person. But once it is something I would do to you, if you do to me, it's normal. I'll receive it. It's just that when a man learns to do that, they do it for far too long. Women will do it for a short time, but if a man learns how to do it, they can do it for far too long. Yes. No, it's because men, they like, their ego is bruised, so yes, they'll avoid you for a very long time. But take it as it is and keep pushing. You get irritated and then he'll mind you one day.
So when it happens, how do we navigate through
How do you come out of it?
Yeah.
Sweet words. You don't talk much, but you find a way of reminding them. Now technology is helping. When we're quite young, you now have to take a car and go to the person's house to go and tell the person, about some of these things. But now you can periodically drop very nice messages, continually say you are sorry, and admit that you were wrong, and let them know how much you miss them. These are just some sweet packages. There are also people that you have to confront them. As hard as it is, you just confront them. Say, yo, time up. We got to talk. What is it? And then probably they laugh out of it and then we move on,
Wow. So simple like that. Happen so just simple like that.
It's just. Some others also need the time. They just need the time for themselves to reflect, self-reflection, to know that, oh, this thing that I'm doing, it's way too much, or it's less too much. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So whatever it is, you just have to understand the purpose of which your partner is taking you through that silence treatment. Once you get to know, take the blame and then use a way that that will work to fix it with him or her.
So what are the key steps for healing from a relationship that has gone through the silence treatment?
First off,
let's
not entertain that for far too long. When you entertain silent treatment for far too long, when communication, so I wrote a principle 2 days ago, love doesn't just check out of the room. No, communication doesn't just check out of the room, it goes with love. So once communication is being cut, the volume of love is being reduced day by day. So you don't stay there for far too long. If you know you were wrong, or just apologize. Even if you're not wrong, and that is just the attitude of the person, fix whatever it is, and let's just move on. Unless you don't want it again. But if you want it again, let's just move on. Confront it. That's it. Confront it. Talk about it. Meet the person. Do whatever. If you have to give him a kiss, have some crazy sex. You have to, if you're married, your husband comes home and you're in some beautiful lingerie, attractive. You act as if he doesn't want it. If he doesn't want it, still give it to him and let's see. You have right to do a lot of things when you're married. So, but if you're not married, take your time, because this one I'm saying, you not even listen. So you find ways of figuring some of these things out, and then it will work.
So what are some of the effects of silence treatment?
It breaks the relationship. Wow. It breaks the relationship. It reduces the love. It increases negativity. Once you're quiet about something, a lot of negative things come. There are wrongdoings come in your head, and then it takes the energy out of the relationship. So it is not something I would ever condone that we stay there for far too long. No. Do it a little bit and then move out of that place.
But still on the effect, how does it affect the person who is receiving it?
They get tired of you. They get tired of you. They get too tired of you. They don't really. Nobody want to do one thing for far too long, and then you give them room to be looking at other people too. Silent treatment give room. Like, if there's somebody else, once you're not talking to me, I'll talk to the person. So it gives room, which will eventually lead to the person cheating on you. Cheating psychologically or giving attention to something else. And it drains them, yeah. Again, others also learn. By the time we come back, they might have learned not to have done that thing again, yeah.
Because when you were going that direction, I even wanted to ask you, if I'm giving you a silence treatment, then instead of you to sit up and you also begin to look for the attention somewhere, is it not because you don't want to learn from maybe what has happened?
Some will learn, others will use it as an excuse to take off.
So in a general overview of the whole discussion or the whole topic, will you consider silence treatment as a good form of communication in a relationship?
No. For a short time, for just a minute when the argument is hot, you can go quiet for a while for tempers to come down. But aside that, I wouldn't advise that. Once you start breaking communication, you break you break the beauty of the love, and then I don't advise silent treatment at all. Deal with it, talk about it, and if the person doesn't want to change, it's their choice. But you don't have to go mute. They can't reach you. You block them on phone. You block them on social media. You block them on every other thing. They try to go call you with a different number. You pick it when you hear their voices. Really, what are we doing? There are even couple who stay in the same room and yes, they're not talking for 3 weeks. They don't even say good morning to each other. Your children are in between you. Go and ask your daddy. You don't do that. It's not nice. It's whatever it is. Let's fix it. Let's talk about it. Okay, and just let's move on.
Okay, so in that case, for how long do you think we can give silence treatment?
Oh, a day is fine.
A day?
A day is fine.
Just a day?
Just a day. The Bible says we shouldn't let the sun down at a particular day. So after a day, we should be able to put our thoughts together to talk. But it shouldn't be too long. No. The longer it stays, the harder it. Well, I'll just say that, I understand when sometimes you have to be quiet for a while and all of that, using your actions to teach your partner to learn. It's a good medium of teaching, and sometimes people learn, but the disadvantages are more higher than the advantages. So why don't we just use the communal or the communication system where you can just calm down within 24 hours and then speak to your partner, and then we are good to go, because it's so difficult. People get tired of some of these things. So if you don't take care, out of silence treatment, somebody else will take somebody that is so valuable to you, because you do it for the first and the second time. The next time they're looking somewhere else, and then by the time you come back from your able high horses, the show is over.